Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another review. There's another paid request, this time for Phillip. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics, reactions, reviews, re-reviews, randomness, out of blueness, wherever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box down below. Again, for pretty much any type of video. But yeah, Hostiles is about 2017, give or take, a Western movie starring Christian Bale, Rosamund Pike. You have Rory Cochrane from Dazed and Confused. He was in The Standard Darkly. Ben Foster has a small role in this. Wes Studi, Sagat from the '94 Street Fighter film. He was also in Deep Rising, personal favorite of mine. And this is a movie that I didn't mind. I liked it, but it's very harsh and grim. Not downbeat in the way of the ending, but just it's a grim, harsh, at times violent film. The opening definitely sets a tone. It does have issues because it's one of those films that's just too long. I think 30 minutes could have been cut out of it. While I do think it's well shot, I do think the musical score complements the film very well. I do think the acting is fairly decent. I like Christian Bale as an actor. My favorite of his is still and always will be Equilibrium. But I enjoy him in American Psycho. I enjoyed him in other movies. I think he does a good job here as this army guy who is kind of going towards retirement and his pension. He's a guy who, just by his look, you could tell has a lot of baggage. Was very violent during the Native American wars. Absolutely despises the Native Americans, and he's probably done some stuff. He's done some stuff, and his was it captain, or I'm trying to remember the exact rank. His superior officer, played by Stephen Lane from Don't Breathe and Avatar, he's in the film for a little bit. He says, I want you to take Wes Studi, who's a Cheyenne, and, well, his character in this movie is a Cheyenne, and his family, including Adam Beach, which he doesn't have a lot to do. So if you're not, I know a friend of mine who's not really big into Adam Beach, he's pretty much off to the sideline, so it doesn't matter. But it's like 3 or 4 other family members with Wes Studi to take them back to their home. You know, Wes Studi's character is dying of cancer. The war is dwindling down to being over. Best to do that. Christian Bale's like, no, I'm not going to do it. Fuck these people. Fuck this. Fuck that. No, you don't do it. Otherwise, you're going to be kicked out and you're not going to have your pension. So despite obvious memories of his friends dying because of Native Americans and the harsh realities of war, he decides to do it. And him and Rory Cochrane and a few other soldiers, they move with this group of Native Americans from point A to point B, trying to get them back to the land that's their destination. Now, like I said, it is a harsh, grim film about the realities of the Wild West back in the day. How unflinching and how do I put it? Unforgiving it could be. So I got that tone. Like I said, when you have a movie that's over 2 hours, like 2 hours and 10 minutes or so, give or take, and a lot of the performances are very much in these hushed whispers, and they're talking like this. And see, I gotta get to here, otherwise you won't hear me. And they kind of got beards like this too, but they're talking like this because they're very haunted. They're very haunted by what's happened because of the war Everybody's always talking like this. It's not that they're giving bad performances. It's that everyone is talking in this hushed state. And almost with its slow, gradual pacing, it can tend to make you fall a little bit of a tired state of affairs. It does showcase dread. I'll give you that. There's certain directing moments I appreciate. Like when Christian Bale is told he has to do this, he goes out somewhere and he's looking at his hands and he screams. But they just do it with music, not because no matter if it's real or not, it can be tough to showcase someone yelling or screaming or crying without being laughable. I think because in real life we would be horrified, but in a movie we just, hey, that guy's yelling. Maybe he's yelling about the lights. These fucking lights. It is Christian Bale. But spoilers. The beginning, I said, it sets a tone. Rosamund Pike is with her family. Husband, 2 kids, and a baby. Other Native Americans, Comanche, I believe, they come in, they're painted up, and they scalp the husband, you see it, shoot the 2 kids, gunshot, and Rosamund Pike is running with the baby, and you see a gunshot right there. And you just see like the bullet. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then she's trying to hide, then she look at the baby, but she's got blood. You don't see the baby. You never see the baby, thankfully. It's just whatever's covering it. You see a bullet hole, and then, you know, her reaction. Which I thought Rosamund Pike did a good job. I like Rosamund Pike. I liked her, even in Doom 2005. I liked her in that movie. She played Carl Urban's sister. But I like that movie in general. But that opening, I mean, like I said, that sets the tone of just how grim this world is that we're being pulled into. As a Christian Bale, he plays a guy, like I said, that has a lot of baggage just from the look of him and the way he acts. His buddy, Rory Cochrane, he's pretty much like a dead soul, like a walking dead guy, really. He's like just so out of it. Wes Studi was underused. That's one of my issues. Other than the pacing, other than everybody, for the most part, everybody talking this hush, whisper. Wes Studi need to be used more. I think if you chop down 30 minutes of this film, and of that hour and 40 minutes, give or take, have a bit more screen time with Christian Bale and Wes Studi together. Talk about their past, talk about the first time they met each other, their battles, people they remember, people they lost on either side. I mean, one of the more effective scenes is when Christian Bale and Wes Studi talk near the finale. But I don't know if I want to say it doesn't feel earned, but I kind of want to, because there has not been a lot of like deep dialogue between these two characters as there should have been. There's little moments here and there, but to me there should have been a lot more. Like Wes Studi, like I say, I like him as an actor. He's a good presence. Even in Street Fighter as Sagat, he wasn't bad in that. Just the movie itself is nowadays more fun, laughable, but still. I like him in Deep Rising and other movies. He should have been used more. He should have been used more. Should have been a bigger character. There's a lot of moments that you could feel that could be snipped out. That could be snipped out. Because this is like the age of stuff. I mean, I love Blade Runner 2049. And even I could say, this bit could be cut, this bit could be cut. There's a lot of directors out there that are so in love with their movies that they feel like they don't need to cut anything. And I think that's... I know... You know what? If you want to have a longer director's cut for your DVD Blu-ray, that's one thing. But you know what? Not every movie needs to be this lethargic. I think there's a lot of stuff where there's scenes that the director's so in love. He's like, this is good shit. That's good shit, and that's good shit. We need to keep all of it. It's like, no, not really. I think there's a lot of directors that don't really get the idea of pacing. As if that's only a studio mandate, pacing. You short the film, they get more screens at the movie theater. No, pacing can help and hurt a film tremendously. And I think there's a lot of directors, like, the new Batman I'm curious about. The new Batman, Robert Pattinson, I'm curious about the movie. But when you tell me that the movie's 3 hours long, I'm like, I'm curious about the movie, but I already know the movie doesn't need to be 3 fucking hours long. I hope I did, like, wow, you know what, I didn't feel a damn thing. I hope so. A damn stippy hope so. What's that one director? Craig? Is that the guy who did Drag Across Concrete? The guy who did... What was it? Cell Block 99. Brawl in Cell Block 99. Who did the Kurt Russell one. The Western. About the cannibals. I forgot it already. One of the reasons I'm not a fan of those films is because, well... Brawl in Cell Block 99 I didn't hate. And then okay, I didn't hate him. Drag Across Concrete I did not like at all. I did way too fucking long. Didn't give a shit about the story. Didn't give a shit about anything in the movie, really. But that director doesn't know how to pace his movies. Like, they get so long, like, cut the fat. Sometimes you need to cut the fat. Again, if I enjoy the film and I want to see and enjoy a longer cut, sure. But goddamn. Now, heavy spoilers starting now. Yes, there's some stuff that happens. Again, they start the journey. They find Rosamund Pike, who's a bit in shock because what happened to her family. She tries to bury her family, but the men and Christian Bale start to help. There's a definite cold melancholy to the whole proceedings. Then at one point there's an ambush where some people get shot on both sides. There's a lot of chat and soft whispers. They get to town. They tell Rosamund Pike you can stay. No, I'm going to go with you. And then the person who's there goes, hey, by the way, can you also take this prisoner? It's played by Ben Foster, who killed some family. And then Ben Foster's telling Christian Bale, come on, you and me are alike. I've seen you on the field, how violent you are. And Christian Bale's like, I was just following orders. And Rory Cochrane being more out of it, that you tell what's happened in the past has shook him to the point of no return. I mean, this is super spoiler, just going through the plot just because I want to. For those who haven't seen it, beware. Ben Foster gets loose, kills someone, runs off. When they find him dead, and Rory Cochrane's next to him. And he put a bullet in his head. So Rory Cochrane killed Ben Foster. It was his last duty. Killed himself because he can't live with the guilt of what they did in the Native American Wars. And like I said, it's a very grim, harsh, dread type of movie. There's even a bit before that where Wes Studi and Christian Bale and them are away doing something, and some of the women get raped. Now, you don't see it. They don't push it. You know, they don't hone in on it a long time like a lot of movies do. It's just you get the idea that the men went to the tents, you hear some noise, and then our leads come in, go into the tents, and you hear them take care of business and kill the rapist. And that's where Christian Bale apologizes to Wes Studi what happened to these ladies. But like, there should be a lot more between Wes Studi and Christian Bale, and that would have made their last exchange that much more impactful, that much more meaningful. Because oh yeah, there's all these conversations they got into about ideals, about history, about who owns who of the land, and about how it is in war. Like all these ideas, and with all this stuff that's a lot of times when I say filler, it's kind of people just looking somewhere or looking off over there, or Christian Bale making small talk with Rosamund Pike. There's a lot more of that than, and sorry, that's my computer doing some stuff. It was publishing a video. Got done. Thank you, computer. There's a lot more Christian Bale making small talk with Rosamund Pike, which I could understand with the ending. I can understand that. But there should have been also a lot of talk between Christian Bale and Wes Studi. Just seems like that could be a very intriguing portion of the film that's just not manifested as much as it's untapped potential, is what I'm getting at. The musical score is decent. The way it's shot, it's a lot of natural lighting, which I'm fine with. So it doesn't feel too fake and filtered. At least it looked more natural to me than a lot of other stuff. The finale gets a little bit intense. I'll give you that. Super spoilers. They get to land. Wes Studi has died, but he got there. These assholes come in. You blah blah, get the fuck out of here, and fuck that Indian and blah blah blah. And Christian Bale makes his stand. That's what I mean. If there's a lot more of Christian Bale learning to understand Wes Studi and conversations, that would also help here too. But then there's a shootout. Really all that's left alive is Christian Bale, Rosamund Pike, and one Native American girl. Everybody else is dead on both sides. And it's a nice bit of the ending where Christian Bale is letting the two, Rosamund Pike and the adoptive Native American girl, get on a train. He's about ready to go. But then he turns and he's going to actually a little bit of an arc for the character. He instead goes back onto the train. He's going to try to live this new life. The music, the score, try just to feel something. And I'm like, there's aspects of this I like. Like I said, I like Christian Bale. I like the natural lighting, the look of the film. The beginning and you feel that this is a dangerous West. I'll give you that. You feel this is a dangerous era, and almost you don't know who's going to live or die. I would say for violence, that beginning is probably the most violent. Just when I say violent, I'm not talking about blood and gore. Like I said, that little scalp at the beginning was the goriest part, I would say, as I stutter. Like I said, it just cut down the running time a bit by like 30 minutes. That sounds like a lot, but you know what? 20 minutes. Take 10 minutes of scenes and get more Wes Studi and Christian Bale talking about whatever. And there's 20 minutes of like snips and tweets that you could do, and like Ben Foster, really, his whole character you could edit out. The only thing that character offers is that just to remind Christian Bale, this is who I could have turned into. Which then I would have just preferred Christian Bale saving Wes Studi by shooting Ben Foster. Because then that could have been like, I could have been like you, or maybe I used to be like you, but now I'm going to literally kill that part of me, the part of me that's like you, to save a guy who I thought I would never save, Wes Studi. And he did it for his job, Or no, because of this dialogue and didn't know each other a bit more. He did it because of other reasons. So maybe it's not Ben Foster. It's like Rory Cochrane. Maybe that's the guy I'm thinking. Like, other than being a very shell-shocked type of guy. But again, that's also... I get the point of that character as well. So I guess you leave him because the show just... There were people like that after the war. Really any war. I don't know, I'm trying to think of like stuff you just step out just to get more of the Wes Studi, Christian Bale stuff. Because I think that could have been a really interesting bit, and Wes Studi, he's underused. It's not an action-packed movie. It's not Young Guns. I would say watch the trailer, and if it interests you, watch the movie. If you really like westerns, or you like... I did not downbeat, but harsh, grim. Maybe some of you would be downbeat, but... When I say downbeat, I'm thinking of like everyone dies downbeat. It's not that, but... Harsh, grim type of western. Or if you're a Christian Bale fan. Like, I'm glad I saw it once for Christian Bale and the direction and such. But it's not a film I would ever watch again either. So, Hostiles, I don't think it's a bad film at all. I think it's at least decent. It's a decent watch. It's just, again, pacing, some missed potential. If you had worked on that, I think this could have been even better. And this film came out, and didn't say it did anything, because I didn't hear anybody talk about this film when it came out. I didn't hear a single person talk about this film. And they okay, this seems like a Oscar contender with Christian Bale. Maybe there was some, but I didn't hear anything about it. So go figure. But with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.